What's up, lore masters? This is the second video in a series discussing Bajoran ships in the Trek universe. Basically, today we'll be breaking down the vessels that caused the Romulan Star Empire to stand down. At least that's how I remember the episode. Let's just get into it. If the lightship is the most well-known Bajoran vessel, the second most well-known would have to be the Bajoran Raider. The Raider was designed to be compact and simplistic. Given that the ship was widely utilized by both the Bajorans and Maquis, it seems likely this design was one born out of necessity. With the occupation, ships would need to be made quickly with no focus on comfort and made out of any parts available, and this would appear to be consistent with the Bajoran Raider. While there is evidence that the vessel could be utilized in space, its design was specifically for atmospheric combat. The Raider would only have sub-impulse speeds with the ability to seat 2 people, uncomfortably. It would have 2 phaser emitters, which honestly, the fact that it has emitters is pretty advanced for the design we're looking at. From the research I've done, I also don't see any defensive systems that the Raiders would have used, such as shields. While the design is confirmed to be Bajoran in origin, several of these ships would also assist in Maquis raids, including the events of the TNG episode Preemptive Strike. The one thing I do enjoy about the vessel is it shows the dire straits the Bajorans and Maquis were in. The vessel is inferior to any contemporary design, but was utilized to moderate success against the Cardassian Union. The next ship that is definitively Bajoran is that of the Bajoran Interceptor, also known to some as a Bajoran assault vessel or a Bajoran impulse ship. Guess what it can't do? The Bajoran Interceptors were one of the frontline defense ships of the Bajoran Provisional Government. It sported 2 phaser emitters and that's it. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any verification that these ships had shields either, but it would seem odd to me that the Bajorans would not have this type of technology on their mainstay ships, especially given that at this time they had access to Deep Space Nine along with working closely with the Federation. As stated, the vessel was utilized by the Bajoran Provisional Government, Bajoran Militia, Maquis, and at least some variant would be utilized by the Terran Resistance Forces in the Mirror Universe. This ship would be seen in several different episodes, including episodes that involve the defense of Bajor and its colonies, during the attempted coup and civil war of Bajor, as well as during the blockade of Derna when Romulan warbirds were going to land weapons on a Bajoran moon but were forced to stand down. Totally due to the Bajoran blockade. Yep, the Bajorans put up their sub-impulse ships and the Romulan warbirds backed off and didn't attack. Nothing more to that story. Guess I was wrong that the Galaxy-class starship should be worried or concerned about a warbird. I mean, they couldn't even take on sublight ships. The last ship we'll be talking about today is the Bajoran transport ship. Basically, it's a Kit-Bash Defiant. The last ship we'll be taking a look at today is that of the Bajoran transport ship, the only vessel known to have warp drive capability that's claimed solely to be by Bajoran design. The vessel is put together somewhat oddly. When looking at this ship, I attempted to compare it against other Bajoran designs. However, from what I can tell, there's no real rhyme or reason to how the Bajoran ships are built. This could be due to the occupation and thus setting back the Bajorans from having a consistency in their designs. Unfortunately, there isn't a lot known about this vessel except it's widely used by both civilians and government officials for transport of people and goods. Now I know this one is a bit short, however, I find that the Bajoran ships are really broken into 3 different types. The light ship that I've talked about before, these designs that are definitively Bajoran, and then the ones coming up, which are those that are shared by both the Cardassians and the Bajorans. Stay tuned when we get into that jar of pickles. But all of this is just my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and as always, guys, remember, all of our lives are just a story. Make yours a good one.